Let's bring the color, but not the fumes. The Home Depot has top-rated, low-odor Behr Premium Plus paint and primer in one for just $23.96 a gallon. Behr Premium Plus puts the latest colors on your walls with fewer coats, fewer fumes, and fewer dollars. Let's do this. Behr Premium Plus, just $23.96 a gallon. More saving, more doing. That's the power of the Home Depot. Price may vary by store location, rated by an independent consumer study. U.S. only. See store for details.
are taking a lot of damage, and Riven's come around the backside. Riven's going to try and go for the flank. Riven is going for the flank for a slash after.
Oh, he gets it! Not a bad steal!
Great opportunity.
Now, most of you have been playing this game for 10 years.
One game.
Now, you all have known me for a while, and for a long time now, you've been hearing me talk about being perfect. Can you live in that moment?
Either we heal as a team, or we're gonna crumble.
If we played them 10 times, they might win 9. But not this game. Not tonight. Their time is done. It's over. Tonight, we stay with them. And we shut them down because we can.
We fight our way back.
This is your time. You were meant to be here tonight.
I'll tell you this, in any fight, it's the guy who's willing to die who's gonna win that inch. Because he knows you're gonna do the same for him. Now, I can't do it for you. I'm too old.
This is your time.
Now, what are you gonna do?
And that's what you have here tonight, boys. That's what you've earned here tonight. Now go out there and take it.
Look at Vendetta's like, get over here. He's gonna take Tiverton. He might go down. He does not have flash. He does not have any escape. Terrible Diamond's gonna go for this Howard McJimbo though. Jamaica Venetta's gonna get ulted from Terrible Diamond. He's chasing him down. He pokes him in the back. Username say what in a sticky situation. IDK 9000. Oh man, everyone's going down. Double kill going over to Terrible Diamond. Ahead of where he was before. I mean, does got that Giants pro. Tiverton's gonna go in. He's gonna kick reflex. What a great kick right there to get that amazing pick.
Yeah, so we actually got the whole clickety-clack on the chase. We got the enemy out coming down. Mr. Nuggets putting a lot of damage on a Feedly. We do have the pull in the box coming out from GG Steezy. He's gonna fall right now. Luap G is gonna get ulted by Quick Game in the double bubble coming out right now. Mr. Nuggets having to get out. Triple kill for Feedly. Is it gonna be a quadra kill? It's gonna be a quadra kill. Is he gonna be able to get a pentakill? Quick Game trying to get he's trying to stop him. Quick Game really trying to, it's gonna be a pentakill for Feedly. Feedly is gonna get a pentakill. Pentakill for Feedly.
Every life, there is a line that cannot be crossed without leaving everything behind, except faith. Once that step is taken, there is no looking back, and all that lies ahead is destiny.
exposed. I yearn to feel the chain all through my body, but something exciting all through my body, but something exciting all through my body, but something exciting. At the moment. Desire, a warm-blooded beast with a beautiful smile. All through my body, but something exciting. All through my body, but something exciting.
Alright guys, welcome back. We are here with the for the Grind Gaming Dragon League Championship match. Here with my co-shoutcaster, GGXY.
What up, everybody? How we doing?
So,
okay.
We're really excited to get this game going. It's going to be between Griffin Gaming and International Lane Losers. These two guys have been at the top of the Dragon League for like as long as we can remember now. So they're going to duke it out tonight in a best of 3 matches. And straight off the back we see a Yasuo and Morgana ban.
Yeah, pretty standard bans. We've actually been seeing Morgana banned a lot recently, just as a support because of the amount of utility that she brings to a team. And definitely that 3-second root that she brings with her level 5 Q really can impact a team fight, get picks, get catches really easily, can help you snowball a game. Thresh being banned on also, a lot of the support bans being focused out here. It'll have to, you know, be who's left open, and Braum may be one of those supports that is left open.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we know the strength of Braum. Early game, late game, he's just all around good. He's got a bunch of CC, so he definitely offers a lot. And seeing him being played tonight would actually be really exciting to see. Although we are going to see the ban come out from Griffin Gaming, so we're not going to see Braum this match.
A lot of support focused bans, but that leaves a lot of assassins open, mainly Kassadin is open. Rengar is also open to champions that can snowball extremely well and possibly just one-shot any carry. We do see Xerath is also left open, but Flame is going to insta-lock that top lane Vladimir. That we have seen Flame play Vladimir almost every game this season. Vladimir and Kennen being his 2 top champions in the Dragon League. He has shown some prowess on those champions, and it has worked for him in some occasions, so we'll have to see how he plays it here in the finals.
Yeah, for sure. Like you were saying, Flame does play those champions a lot. We do see Tiverton Fenmar is going to go ahead and pick up that Leona for International Lane Losers, IDK 9000. got about 25 seconds left to go ahead and pick his champion as well.
And since Leon is being locked in here, that's one of the other main supports, since 3 supports have been bound out here. I think KR Face might look to get a Nami here, just to try and fight that off, because all of the other main supports are banned out. But we do see IDKB 9000 locking in the Rise top lane. It's pretty strong right now. As long as you can keep scaling up through the late game and you don't get that far behind, you should be fine. And against a Vladimir, it shouldn't be that hard to play a farm lane.
Yeah, for sure. So GG Gray, really thinking about J4. He's played J4 quite a few times here in the Dragon League, and has performed pretty well with him. Amadrowski hovering over Lucian. We know Epicons likes to play Lucian, and gosh, he does such a good job with Lucian.
Yeah, I think Jarvan would be a good pickup here, mainly because they are going to lock in Amumu. Amumu is alright. He is really prone to getting counter jungled. If he loses a buff, he can get behind very early. With that being said, however, he can be really good in team fights if he stays relevant throughout the game. He's probably not the best at dealing with those jungle invades, like I said. So we'll have to see how much pressure that International Lane Lasers puts on him.
Yeah, for sure. We see Lexers is gonna go ahead and pull out the Caitlyn. SKT1 Slayer still thinking about Ziggs. Got about 15 seconds left. As you can already see, we got a lot of kind of like CC, just poke kind of comp coming out for international lane losers.
And I think what they're trying to do is stall it out to the late game. Ziggs is really going to help that scenario because he can stall pushes for a really long time because of the amount of wave clear he can offer between all of the AoE he has with his Q, E, W, whatever you want. Caitlyn can also wave clear really well with their Qs, so the longer they can prolong this game, looking for the late game, the more time that Rise has to scale up. And Caitlyn is also a good pick into the solution that Epicons is looking to play, because recently this patch Lucian's range was changed from 550 to 500. Everyone thought that would kill Lucian, but Riot made his E almost so broken that it doesn't really matter. That being, if you get a double shot with Lucian's passive off, it'll reduce the cooldown of your E for every double shot that you hit. Yeah. So at max rank, your Relentless Pursuit, your E can be on like a 3-second cooldown if you keep your double shots up. But Caitlyn can counteract that in the early laning phase with just her range being 650 range to 500 range. Lucian might have a tough time farming, but we'll have to see how Epicons plays that out. The Zyra and the Syndra also being locked in. We have seen Syndra having a lot of play in the LCS due to high burst, good objective control, good zoning, and a pretty safe laning phase despite her lack of mobility.
Yeah, for sure. And we know that Curface really is very comfortable on Zyra, and as well as Epicons on Lucian. So it feels like both teams are picking really good comfort champs for all their players, but still have really, really good team comps.
Yeah.
So both teams are looking to like team fight. Looks like International Lane Losers is looking to poke quite a bit more than Griffin Gaming, but I kind of feel like they both have very strong team fights.
Yeah, I feel like International Lane Losers is definitely looking to stall it to that late game, like I was saying. If they can get to that mid and late game, Caitlyn has a really good mid to late game, so does Rise, so does Ziggs. Even Eve scales well into the late game, so the longer they can delay this game, the better it'll be. And it's not like Griffin Gaming has a bad late game team either, because Syndra scales really well into the late game, Lucian scales really well, and Zyra does also. But champions like Amumu fall off towards the late game. I think Amumu is strongest in his mid game, but we'll have to see how they play it out.
Yeah, for sure. Got about 15 seconds until we hit that 3-minute delay. But just looking at everything right now, we see Vladimir and Rise both going TP. So they're going to be able to get around the map fairly good, and keep that pressure up all around.
Yeah, we'll have to see how well they can play their TPs, because one thing that really separates top-tier top laners is good teleports in teamfights and good teleports for roams. If you have seen any of the LCS action recently, there's been some questionable teleports coming in from top laners, and it's really determining some of the teamfights that are being put up. And I think that Ryze will have to rely on a lot of the pressure from Eve to relieve the pressure from Amumu, because Ryze is really prone to getting ganked because of his lack of mobility in his early levels.
Yeah.
And so Amumu doesn't need to wait until later levels to gank. He can gank when he gets double buffs at level 3, so he can choose to start red since he's on blue side and then work his way up to the top lane with that 3-minute 30-second gank and probably get a kill on that Ryze. But Eve can do the same thing and start at her blue and get to top lane at 3 minutes and 30 seconds. We'll have to kind of see where these junglers want to put their pressure early, because there's a lot of immobile lanes for Amumu to gank, because he can gank a Ziggs kind of easily. Depends on how Ziggs plays it with his Ultra Charge. He can gank a Ryze pretty easily. The Leona Caitlyn lane, I wouldn't say so much. It'll have to depend on how much KR Face can set up the ganks with Zyra. I think that's more of a lane you can gank post 6 when you can combo the Zyra and Amumu ultimate together.
Yep.
So you can get more lockdown on them. But the key for Griffin Gaming to win here is for Epicons and Amadruski to do well in their laning phase, because they need this Lucian to stay relevant throughout the game. And the more relevant that Lucian is throughout the game, the more he'll be ahead of Caitlyn. And the same goes for Syndra. The more damage she has versus this Ziggs, the more she's going to be able to bully him out in lane, because she's taking Ignite and he is taking heal. You can offer more pressure with Ignite, so depending on how the Amumu, GG Grace, sets up his ganking pressure throughout the game, it'll really determine how his solo laners and bottom laners end up doing versus their lanes.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright guys, with 45 seconds left, we're going to go ahead and throw it to a commercial break, but when we get back, it will be Griffin Gaming versus International Lane Losers. Don't go anywhere, we'll be back in a minute.
Welcome back to Week 6 of the North American League Championship Series. I'm Rivington Bislin III, along with Sam Kobe, Hartman Kensler.
I'm your host, Eefje Schoogse-Poortere, and we are in Week 8 of the Summer Split.
Which game are you most looking forward to today?
Yeah, it is, of course, going to be Fnatic versus Gambit.
Hey guys, Travis here on day 2 of Week 8 of the Summer Split LCS, joined by Double Lift of CLG.
Definitely a good place to be. You're top half.
All right, games, baby.
Boom! Use on the Genji, but he does not go down. They fear me. Rogers really under pressure. Legendary has this on 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it going to be 5? I can't actually tell. Legendary is dead, and it is a pentakill. Pentakill for Alex Ips.
Master yourself. Master the enemy.
Time for reckoning.
Double Lift is playing amazing. He gets it one more time. A triple kill for Double Lift. The mechanics are amazing.
Back and forth.
Target acquired.
Simon Savage lays out, outplays him. Now comes the insect to clean it up. Oh, Squad! Can he do it? He does! Lays out, what a hero!
As you wish.
Deal with this one. Catches him with another axe. He's very low.
Alright guys, welcome back. I'm here with my co-shoutcaster GGXY, and we're getting off the rift.
Yo, what's up everybody? Just taking a look at some of these starting buys, we can see both junglers opting to start with the sweeping ones a lot of teams don't like to do this because of the ineffectiveness of sweeping lens early. Usually you want to start the trinket ward, so you can look for a counter invade, depending on how aggressive the enemy team is, but both junglers are starting sweeping lens. It looks like International Lane Losers wants to make an early play here. Leona does get spotted up by the river ward though, so they might see some early action down by the red buff. But the only two people here are Lucian and Zyra, and Zyra is actually in a really good spot to spot this invade coming in from them. So we'll have to see how they play that.
Yeah, International Lane Losers, they're trying to go for that first blood cheese. I don't think they're going to be able to get it because, like you were saying, Curface was in a really good position to see it coming. So he prevented, actually, by standing there, he prevented the death of probably what was going to be Epicon's first blood.
Yeah, that was pretty good positioning from Curface. Lexus getting poked out here a little bit, but nothing too major. They just warded red buff. And it's not like Mumu was going to start red buff as he was posturing himself towards the blue side of the map, but Gray is actually out here 155 when his buff spawn. He's going to have a really late start on his blue buff, and Eve is going to have this blue way before him. They should note that Mumu was way out of position for his blue buff at that time, and possibly go for a red invade.
Yeah, so Mumu, like you were saying, he's just now getting to his buff, and it's 2:45. And
he doesn't get a leash either. That's going to hurt his clear time.
Yeah, so that's going to hurt him a lot. That's probably going to cost him an extra pot at least, which means he's not going to be able to spend as much time in the jungle, or possibly even be able to gank level 3, because he may have to go back.
Yeah, he just cleared that blue at 2 minutes 36 seconds. And Eve is clearing her wraiths right now, almost at her.
Oh my gosh! First blood going over to SKT Slayer! And he actually manages to get the kill on Amadrowski, which it looked like he was going to be able to get out, but he didn't.
Action in the bot lane too.
Yeah, Curface right now taking tons of damage. Such Vein is on him right now, and he's going to be able to get the kill. Curface goes down, and that's 2 kills already for International Lane Losers.
It's a really good start for International Lane Losers, but we have seen Griffin Gaming get behind it in a lot of their games this split, and it hasn't stopped them from being the top team, so maybe we'll see a comeback. Flame is way out of position right here. Should not have been that far up, but oh, gonna flash. That kill up nice and clean.
Yeah, very early pull there by Flame. I kind of feel like maybe he could have held on to that for a little bit longer to try to be able to escape that Eve, but man, there wasn't much he could do right there.
And like I said, what the time was it in game? 3 minutes 30 seconds. Both junglers get. Eve got her double buffs, comes top lane, 3 minutes 30 seconds for the gank. Flame overextended without a ward, burns his flash, and still loses in a kill.
And
so he's gonna have to play a lot safer.
Yep, that all stems back to Gray being out of position. You know, before the boss were even spawned, Eve knew that there was no way a Mumu was going to be up there for the counter gank, so she took full advantage of that. And you know, no one's going to have a pink ward level 1 in top lane, so it was basically a free kill. Really good job by Tiverton Fenmar to be able to recognize that.
Yeah, and as long as International Lane Losers can keep this pressure up, it'll be better for them. Because, like I said, they're a late game team. They just need to worry about surviving to the late game. And it's already 4 minutes in, and they have 1,000 gold. They 3 kills up. So as long as they can keep ahead and stay ahead, this game should be in the bag for them. But like I said, Griffin Gaming has had a history for comebacks, and we'll have to see how they play it.
Yeah, for sure. And last time these teams met, it was a really close game. International Lane Losers were actually in the Griffin Gaming base quite a few times before Griffin Gaming managed to turn it around with a team fight that cost International Lane Losers the game. So these teams definitely have that history of going back and forth. So, and there's a lot on the line right now. You know, we're talking about who's going to be the Grind Gaming Dragon League champions. So, you know, the players look like they're feeling the pressure right about now.
Yeah, and it's not like these lanes for Griffin Gaming are doing bad either. Bot lane is outgussing. Mid lane is kind of out CSing. Top lane is pretty much even. So they're not behind in terms of lane dominance. It's just the early pressure from the ganks and Gray not being able to do anything early set them behind a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Amidrowski doesn't really have too much mana left, and we do see Eve come out. Tiverton Fenmar throwing everything he has onto Amidrowski, but Amidrowski gonna go ahead and be able to walk away from that one. Kalen, meanwhile, taking quite a bit of poke under this tower as he's here defending it by himself.
Yeah, it was a smart gank to go and try and kill Amidrowski again. No mana, no flash, but SKT1 Poon did also. Ooh, are they gonna kill him?
Ooh, man.
Having to burn the heal, but like I said, SKT1 Poon Slayer and Tiverton Fenmar not having enough damage. Just a failed gank. But it's not like this Lucian lane is behind. Zyra's dead one time, but Leona got the kill. So it's not like Epicons is, you know, drastically behind.
Yeah, we do see Eve coming down in the bottom lane. Suchbane locking down Curface, and Curface is going to go down to Lexrus. Lexrus may actually go down to Curface's Ignite. So at the end of the day, it's just a 1-1 trade there.
Yeah, this Eve is putting in a lot of work early. It's really hard for players of low caliber to play against a champion like Evelynn, just because of the amount of pressure that she can put at you. Always have to remind yourself, like this Eve is coming in right now.
Yeah, Eve is coming in again mid lane. Amidrowski throwing the ultimate onto SKT1 Slayer, but he's not going to be able to walk away with anything. Tiverton Fenmar still chasing Amidrowski, and he says, hey man, back off my teammate.
Yeah, look how much pressure this Eve has been able to put out. Ganking top, mid, and bottom consecutive times and still keeping up with GG, Gray, and CS in the jungle. He's only 2 CS behind, and like I said, it's hard for some of these players to keep up with the constant reminder to themselves that, hey, could Eve be here at this time? And it's either that or they have to buy a pink ward for their lane. So they have to keep up in pink wards. They have to think about it. Ooh,
yeah.
Gray's actually going to get the kill
IDK
on Ryze in top
9000.
lane.
Yeah, he's just gonna fall. Uncle Ryze, nothing he can do right there. Really good job by Flame, throwing the ultimate out just to get that last little tick of health. So
yeah, Flame has been trading with him a lot in the top lane, and it looks like it paid off for him in the long run. Vladimir benefits more in longer trades just because of the sustain that he has in fights, and it showed right there as Ryze wasn't able to keep up with him, and the ult finished him off.
yeah, for sure. And we've seen Eve go around the map, like back to what you were saying. We've seen Eve go to every single lane, and we haven't seen Gray like at all. He's just been kind of, you know, still suffering from that you know, level 1 mistake. And he's still trying to get himself, still trying to
now
recuperate.
he is ahead in levels of Evelynn, and he is level 6 now, so that'll open up a more gank path for him.
We do see him top, and he actually might fall right now to IDK 9000. IDK 9000 manages to pick up the kill on GG Gray, and in the meantime, Amidrowski manages to get SKT1 Slayer, and Flame Cryo Phoenix might go down to Tiverton, the sneaky Evelynn, making her presence felt.
Yeah, Gray is really weak right there, and I don't... Ooh, okay, they're not going to fight the bot lane, but Gray is really weak. He is way too behind to be going AP Amumu right now. He cannot afford to go AP Amumu when he's this behind, and that showed. He was at half health. He wasn't tanky enough to win the trade versus Ryze and Evelynn. He died right off the bat to Ryze only, and then, I mean, Flame was really close to killing IDK 9000. But 2v1 scenario, it's gonna come out in the two-person's favor.
Yeah, for sure. We do see Curface getting locked down right now from Lexrus, and we see IDK 9000 with the TP in bottom lane. Epicon's trying to get the last little bit off on Kalen, but he's not gonna be able to do it right now. IDK 9000 gonna get the last. Nope. Suchbane, scumbag. Scumbag support coming in, taking the kill. IDK 9000 still on the hunt. We do have Tiverton Fenmar chasing as well with the red buff proc. We do see the ultimate coming out for GG Gray, and they might just turn around and go ahead and grab this dragon.
Yeah, they're gonna have to grab dragon. They're sacrificing maybe a top tower just for that pressure. So they do get a kill onto KR, and I think it was onto Epicon, sorry. They get a kill onto Epicons, and that was a really close really close deal, but they traded Tower for Dragon, so all in all, it is kind of more worth to Griffin Gaming for the map pressure, but IDK 9000 got a kill in the bot lane, so.
Yeah, I would have to definitely agree with you because they did give up the tower, so it seems like the favor is going into Griffin Gaming right there, and especially because Rise had to use his TP, so he's not going to have that available to him for quite some time, so that kind of opens things up a little bit for Griffin Gaming.
Yeah, trading a lot. Amadrasky showing the amount of damage that Syndra can do with just a few items. Like Amadrasky and pt.1 have the same exact items, but Syndra can just shell out that damage. Right, being about to have health from that Ziggs ultimate, and it's showing that Gray is not that tanky of a man. He wants to go in with that AP and Mumu route, and sure it can do damage, but your team already has a lot of damage, and if he's going AP, that'll be another AP source, because Zyra is AP, Syndra AP, Gray is AP.
Yeah, you do see Amadrasky and the pause is going to come out. I'm not exactly sure what may be going on. I guess we have some technical issues for one of the players, but yeah, back to what you were saying about Amumu.
Yeah. Yeah. So like, think about it. What international lane losers can do right here is just build Banshee's Veils and Spirit Visage and just take up all of that AP, because they're gonna have 4 AP sources coming from Griffin Gaming, and it's just really easy to pinpoint and focus what your item defenses need to be this game. And so if they can keep Epicons under control, they won't need to worry about his AD as much, and someone like Evelyn can just build Banshees and Spirit Visage. Ryze can build a Spirit Visage like a 4th or 5th item. Ziggs can build Banshees, Caitlyn can build Banshees. You know, it's very easy for international lane losers to itemize against this team comp from Griffin Gaming.
Yeah, just looking at the team comp, like you were saying, they are really dependent on Epicons to be able to really, you know, be able to excel and get ahead, because like you were saying, they're going to buy Banshee's Veils, so they're like, okay, well, they might not buy as much armor because they're buying more magic resist. So Epicons they're really relying on Epicons to be able to get in there and do the damage that they need, you know?
Yeah, and that trade that we saw between Syndra and Zyra right before that pause, you know, it's, Syndra and Evelyn before that pause. Evelyn just had to blow her flash for that trade, so it might lower her pressure just a little bit, but she is 2-1-0, and she is already having her Elder Lizard with about... She actually doesn't have that much money in the bank, so yeah. We'll have to see. But Flame is shoving this top lane in for days, and his CS is showing because of that.
Yeah, we do see Gray. He's going to go ahead and get the bandage toss. He's going to throw down the ult, and Tiverton falls. Really good play there in communication from Gray and Amadrasky. We do have Amadrasky still fighting. And we do see Epicons getting pushed back by Such Vayne. He's trying to get locked down. Curveface, meanwhile, he's putting tons of damage onto this Caitlyn, and Such Vayne. It's just a poking match down there between the two, you know, sets.
Yeah, Gray locking down Evelyn, and it's not like Evelyn has built any defense yet, so she is still squishy. And they are going to take top lane, getting really low.
Well, IDK 9000 fall! No, he's not going to! IDK 9000 manages to get the kill on Flame, and wow, that was right down to the last little tick of health.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that the Vladimir ultimate didn't kill IDK right there, but the spell vamp you get from using Ryze's ultimate probably saved his life there in that fight. And it was really well played by, you know, IDK to come out ahead in that trade. But like we were saying, Gray going onto that Tiverton Fenmar's Evelyn. Evelyn is not a taking champion yet. Sure, she can build tanky as a third, you know, a second, third, or fourth item, but all she has is an Elder Lizard right now, and she can just get exploded between the damage of Syndra and that AP and Mumu.
Yeah, so, yeah, right now, Gray's going full AP, like you were saying, no defense at all. Same kind of with Eve, so I kind of wonder, are we going to see a Zonya's Hourglass coming out from Gray.
The Zonya's Amumu, the dream.
The dream.
Well, the first ever Amumu appearance in Gaming League. Amumu Zonya's, believe.
So, looking across the board right now, we do see Epicon's doing such a good job right now with that farm. Let's see, Amadrowski as well. We might have a gank coming down here for Griffin Gaming. We see Amumu making his way out, and we do have Curveface and Epicon's chasing Such Vane, and they're trying to kill the Caitlyn. They're going to turn back onto Such Vane. He's going to get rooted, and actually Epicons goes under the tower, and he manages to pick up the kill. Really nice block there from Curveface. Caitlyn cannot channel her ult on Epicons, so that's going to be a kill over to the ADC Epicons.
Yeah. Curveface has been doing a really solid job on the Zyra support, really showcasing how to trade properly on Zyra, because Zyra offers a lot of damage, and she can just zone out the enemy AD carry, set up a lot of ganks, and just single-handedly carry a ball in. As she flashes,
we do have the flash come out, and Epicons is going to go ahead and finish off the tower, and it looks like they're just going to go ahead and keep their distance.
Get cold, kid, as that calling with swipe to the right. Both of these AD carries, both going Infinity Edge, and we've seen at all stages of this game, all of these laners picking up the same items.
And Madrowski putting tons of damage on the SKT pulling Slayer, and Gray is going to be able to get the bandage toss and kill on the SKT1 Slayer. Really good job by them. And it looked like he threw a panic ult, and we do see Flame. He's going to go ahead and dive the top lane now. Tiverton, meanwhile, in the mid lane, he's going to go ahead and drop Amadrowski. Amadrowski! There he goes. He drops down, and for a second, there was like a little glimmer of hope that he might make it out, but he couldn't.
Yeah, IDK 9000 just living in top lane with a sliver of health, same with Flame Cryo Phoenix. But Amadrowski's having some really questionable decision-making when it comes to these trades. He went to go trade in on a full health Ziggs when he was at 20%, and then he, from there, went to stay at 20% health in mid lane just to end up getting a flash banded touch by Gray, and by
Yeah, absolutely. We do see international lane losers. Griffin Gaming, the teleport's going to come out, and we do see Flame, and they're trying to turn onto this dragon. No, we do have another teleport coming out for international lane losers. We do have a fight breaking out right now, and we do see Flame Cryo Phoenix taking tons of damage. He's going to get dropped down. Double kill for SKT Slayer, and so at the end of the day,
it's going to be the dragon for international lane losers. Okay, like what did I say in Champions Select? It's going to be the teleports that decide this fight. And the teleport from Flame was not good. There was none of his team surrounding him. He went in basically 1v5 and tried to clean up that fight, but he just got focused out. There's no one from his team to help him because Such Vane, with the two-man solar flare, singled out Curveface and Epicons and forced them out of the fight. And the response teleport from IDK 9000's Rise right into the middle was really good because it brought pressure from, like, he matched the teleport from Flame, and his teleport was a better teleport because he met with his team, and Flame just went in 1v5. They didn't even have Gray there to contest. The person with the smite, the jungler, who's the person who's supposed to steal that dragon, he wasn't even in the area for that fight.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to go in like that, you definitely need more than just Vayne, or just more than Lucian and Zyra, I should say, because like you were saying, it was 2-on-5, and then we seen the TP coming out, and then they got stunned by Leona's solar flare, so it's just really bad decision making right there by Flame, but that's going to cost them, and they're going to have to make up for it here.
And even though it's cost them, they're still ahead in towers. It's not like they're out of this game completely. They're less than 1,000 gold down. So this game's fairly close right now. The only person that's doing poorly right now is Flame, and they are scaling up into that late game. It's coming up and it's becoming a thing. Every passing minute, Ziggs is finished as Athene's. Yeah, Sork shoes. Rise has Aroa, and Caitlyn finished her IE. So they're getting there, and the faster that they get there, the worse it's going to be for Griffin Gaming.
Yeah. Just looking at the CS, from Amadrowski and Epicons, they're right in the same ballpark, around the 140 range. So they're doing actually really good for themselves. International lane losers, not quite as much. You know, you got Ziggs 130 and Caitlyn, exact same farm right now, actually. So there's a little bit of more leeway right there for Griffin Gaming. We do have a bunch of poke coming out from IDK 9000 onto Flame. And it looks like Griffin Gaming are just trying to set up a siege here in the mid lane.
Yeah, and they don't really have that great of a siege either. Their AD carry Lucian only has 500 range, so it's not like he can become a Caitlyn with 650 range and just sit back and hit the tower, or Tristana, you know. Someone with range, Pogma. And Flame walks in from a really bad spot.
And we do see the ultimate coming out from Zyra. It's going to go ahead and pop up a bunch of people. GG Gray throwing down his ult as well. And Madrowski manages to pick up the kill on Evelyn. IDK 9000 getting a kill as well. Flame all the way in the back. He's going to get dropped. And Madrowski, Epicon's still out. And he's going to get bought back. Epicon's trying to get that last little bit. He's not going to be able to get it. So 4 members of International Lane Losers went down right there. Really good communication from Kerface and GG Gray to be able to get that lockdown.
MVP of the fight. Flash roots 3 people, followed up by the Stranglethorn. Zyra ultimate knocks up 4 people. Gray bandage toss in. Amumu ultimate 4 people. That solidly won the fight for Griffin Gaming. And like I said, even though Griffin Gaming was behind, they're finding ways to get back into this game. Now they actually have a gold lead on International Lane Losers, and they got a mid tower in response to that.
Yeah, and it was looking really scary there for a second because Flame, he came in like he's Rambo or something. He's seen 3 of their members right there, and he did not give a care in the world. You know, so
Flame, the man with no fear.
Well, you know, right now that's fine that he got away with it, but later down the road he's going to have to watch out for that because International Lane Losers, they know how to capitalize on mistakes, and Flame needs to kind of settle down and get his focus back.
I mean, it'll really like come through now because the items are coming out for Griffin Gaming. Like, Zyra has been on that Chalice and Amplifying Tome forever, but she just ignores the fact that she's going to get Athenes and she gets Needlessly Large Rod. And it's not like Lucian wanted to finish his boots either, he just wanted more damage. And blasting one, so it looks like he wants to go for a oh geez, what's that item?
Rylai's,
yeah. And so all of these items are coming out for Griffin Gaming, and it's going to be up to, you know, International Lane Losers to try and keep up with that. They need to utilize the amount of wave clear that Ziggs has, like they're going to do right here. Clear that bottom wave. They need to stall out this game as long as they can, but it doesn't look like they can.
Yeah, we've got TPs coming out, and this might be the next team fight. We do see Kerface all the way in the front, throwing down the ultimate. GG Great going all the way to the back line. He's going to use that ultimate. SKT1 is going to drop Flame, and right now this is the dive that Griffin Gaming did not want to do. They were all over the place, and International Lane Losers, like I was saying before, they know how to capitalize on those mistakes, and they punished Griffin Gaming, and now Epicons is the only survivor of that fight.
Yeah, definitely. It was a big mistake from Kerface. He saw an opening, and he did get his Stranglethorns onto most of the team, but he was solo tower diving that team. He was up there by himself, got picked out right away, and then Gray was like, oh hey, let's go in. It looks like a good time. Gray goes in, 1v4, dies same way Kerface did. Flame was like, okay, let's do the same thing, 1v4, dies. And then the same thing with Amadrasky, gets Rune Imprisoned at the very front of the tower, 1v4. They all had the same idea, but they didn't execute it at the same time. If they were to have dived and executed that at the same time, there might have been a different result. But it didn't pay out for Griffin Gaming, and it cost them. And like you said, International Lane Losers definitely capitalizing on the mistakes.
Yep. So with that being said, SKT1 Slayer 5-3-3 got his Rabadon's Death Cap, Athene's Unholy Grail. He's got the Sorcerer Shoes. He's feeling pretty good right now. He's that big Ziggs that you really want that can fend off waves. It's going to be really hard now for Griffin Gaming to be able to push up and Siege Towers. Not that it was already before. It's going to be even harder now because Ziggs, you know, that wave clear.
Just trading back and forth in the top lane here.
Yeah.
Looks like they want to go for a kill.
And
oh.
And that
Jesus. Okay.
is a dead flame.
I want to give a shout out to Mr. Nuggets because God bless America Rise is going ham. He is 6-1-7. Finished his Frozen Heart. He like went from losing a lane to just completely stomping, and he can trade and almost, you know, he only used 2 rotations of his spells and killed, you know, Flame 100-0. Flame finished his Zonias now, so that might be a different story, but this Rise can just become, you know, Uncle Sam, do his thing, and carry this game. Like, Rise's late game is now, and I don't know if Griffin Gaming is ready.
Yeah. So they're gonna have the late game Rise that you were talking about. You know, like once he comes in there, he's gonna be doing tons of damage. I mean, this man is stacked right now. In Flame, you know, he's feeling that. So right now, international lane losers, they're feeling pretty good. We do have Tiverton Fenmar going towards this top lane. So. Oh.
Yeah, and we do see Tiverton Fenmar looking to build a little more tanky, but it's 25 minutes in, and he has only finished his what? I think, Jesus, I'm forgetting all the items. Random and Omen. Random and Omen, he only has that, and his Elder Wizard, and it's like, I don't see why he would go for Randuin's Omen if it's a 4 AP comp. I think that's poor itemization choice, and he failed to realize that. I mean, sure, his score reflects differently, but he's not going to be the first person, you know, to run in there and start tanking, because his lack of MR versus a Leandri, Zyra, DFG almost death-capped Syndra, you know, full AP Amumu and full AP Vlad, it's not going to, you know, help her in any of these situations. And, like, Rise could have gone Banshee's Veil here, too. Like, Frozen Heart isn't a bad item on Rise, but he doesn't have the attack speed from Lucian. He has to worry about, like, a Banshee's Veil, and looks like his teams are posturing to fight here, but it's kind of just, like, back and forth, scrimmage line, who wants to pull the trigger first.
Yeah. It is getting really tense. Who is going to pull the trigger first, really? Right now, it just, you know, they're waiting on it. Both teams want to fight. So, Flame kind of out of position, and right now he's going to get locked down from such vein, and this might be the start of the team fight. Flame going into that pool, and right now we have the Zyra coming out. We do see SKT1 Slayer dropping down Flame, and right now Amadrowski's gonna go down. Epicons might go down. No, Curface is the target now. He's gonna get dropped. GG Gray gets ulted in the face, and right now international lane losers managed to take down the 4 members of Griffin Gaming once again, and they're turning onto this Baron.
Hello, Baron buff. Okay, Flame again, not thinking about his positioning. He's solo. I mean, sure, he, you know, Zonius to try and stop the damage and he pulled, but he didn't get to flash, he didn't get to ultimate, he got caught out, and he not only did he get caught out, but he got his team caught out. His team went over to help him, but the Ziggs bomb came through with huge damage, finishing him off in the back line, and that was just a smooth cleanup. And Gray got picked off by the Caitlyn ace in the hole, and he's not tanky enough, you know, to provide that. He doesn't have any MR. He doesn't have any armor. Sure, he has a Giant's Belt for, you know, for some health, but you know, a Giant's Belt doesn't make you tanky, Miss Piece of Cake.
Yeah.
It's
yeah, I mean,
let's see.
Exactly what you were saying. Griffin Gaming, they're lacking a frontline. They don't have it. Flame, GG Gray, they're both, you know, they're not tanky. They're not, GG Gray especially, he needs to be building that tank. With the amount of damage that International Lane Losers is putting out right now, you know, the itemization that GG Gray has, it can't compete with, you know, so I would think that GG Gray needs to build something like, you know, get that Banshee's Veil, get that Randuin's Omen. You see, like, right now,
I don't know how much, like, I don't know if that's, you know, a possibility for him right now, because his team is really behind, and they're not winning team fights. Even though the itemization from International Lane Losers isn't the greatest, like I said, Frozen Heart and Ranu and Zoman onto Even Rise, I don't think they're the best items right now, but it's not like it's affecting them negatively right now. So as long as they can continue winning fights and keep catching people out like Flame.
Do have another team fight, and oh, the Caitlyn ult. No, but the Ziggs ult! SKT1 Slayer able to pick up the kill on a Flame right after he got out of his pool there.
Yeah, it's another catch, and I don't like. I feel like we're bagging on him, but he needs to think about how he can better position himself in these team fights, because you're not going to be able to live for more than a few seconds against this team when you have a 7-1 Rise, a 7-3 Ziggs, and a Caitlyn that's scaling into the late game.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Griffin Gaming is on tilt this game. They started off so well. We do see the Solar Flare coming out. GG Gray all the way in the back, and he's gonna use his ult, but it's not gonna matter. He's gonna drop down. Amadrowski has the Caitlyn ult on him. They're both gonna survive, and International Lane Losers has every right to be pushing mid lane right now. They have nothing stopping them.
Yeah, and I just want to talk just a little bit more about itemization, because that's been a big topic this game. Frozen Heart isn't a bad item on Rise, but like they're gonna catch Flame out. Oh, rest in peace. Rest in pepperonis.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what to say about that. Just too far forward, and the amount of catch that you have between like a loner and Rise, just the instant root. You're always gonna die against something like that if you're out of position. But Frozen Heart isn't a bad item on Rise, but it's not the best item in this situation. Random and Zoman isn't a bad item on Eve, but it's not the best in this situation. Eve just picked up the Advances Veil, which is really good right now. But it's like I said, if the items aren't affecting them in a negative way, it's not bad for them, but it's not the best.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And right now, Griffin Gaming, it feels like, you know, when you watch them, you can tell that their communication is off, because they're going in one by one almost every team fight, and they're just not on the same page. Hopefully after this game or during this game, at some point they can manage to sync up, you know, and synergize with each other, because they seem to be all over the place this game.
Yeah, and it's not like they've been losing objectives, right? They're tied in towers. They've lost a Baron and maybe one Dragon, but they're tied in towers, and they just keep miscommunicating in team fights. We saw it in the bottom lane, and we've seen it near the Baron pit. People getting, caught out at bad times. People going in without everyone else following up. It's just costing them.
Yeah, we do see GG Gray getting spotted out there by IDK 9000 and Tiverton Fenmar. They're just kind of doing a sweep, checking out, who's in the jungle. They're trying to make sure Griffin Gaming is all pushed back. IDK 9000 getting rooted right there, but a little bit of damage to Rise isn't going to hurt.
Yeah, and as soon as you outstring that team fight, he's going to get that health back right away from the spot ban from his ultimate. And here comes the siege, and who has a better sieging comp than Griffin Gaming? They have a Ziggs with his passive. He doesn't have a Lichbane, which is, it could be worse, but they do have a Caitlyn as well, which is really good at just poking towers. They can push up these Raves really fast as well. I think that focusing this mid tower isn't the best decision that they can make. They have a tower in top lane, tier 1 tower in top lane that hasn't even fallen yet, which looks like they're rotating to right now. They also have a tier 2 tower in the bottom lane, which is still up. So they're trying to push mid and go for the big pinata right here when there's still a tower in top lane. There's 2 towers in top lane actually, and there's a tower in bottom lane. So
yeah. Earlier in Champ Select, we seen GG Gray hovering over the J4. I kind of wonder maybe if he should have picked that instead of the Amumu, because we haven't really seen GG Gray play Amumu really. So I kind of feel like maybe the Jarvan would have been better in this situation, especially with the Zyra.
I feel like Jarvan's really strong in this current meta, especially if you snowball on Jarvan. You can just build full damage and one-shot any enemy AD carry or AP carry.
Yeah.
He offers a lot of utility. You can check bushes with his E, and he can lock. I feel like he can lock down people better than Amumu can, just because of the amount of interrupts that he has in his kit. Like Amumu can stun, sure, but he doesn't. Amumu has an in. Like he can get in, but he can't get out.
Yeah.
And Jarvan can get in and out. So. I mean, it might have been a better pick, but who knows how they're going to play it. Looks like Baron's going to be up in 10 seconds, and they already prepped all of it. They swept it.
In curve phase,
just looking to bait. Yeah, they're just looking to bait the support who wants to come in, but they're just going to go ahead and take this free Baron. I don't think that Griffin Gaming had this time, but they are going to know about it.
Get pulled by Leona, or not pulled, but locked down by Leona. He's going to be able to go ahead and get out. Tiverton Fenmar still kind of on the hunt, and Flame once again just probably not the best positioning. I'm sure Griffin Gaming knew that something was, fishy, because they didn't see anyone on the map, and International Lane Losers sat in that bush very patiently waiting for a kind of cheese kill. They weren't able to get it, but they did get the Baron, and now they're looking to push this mid lane tower.
I mean, posturing around for that pick kill isn't a bad idea, because what do they have to lose? They could get Kyle, but they're already ahead, and all they needed was to get a pick, and they were just waiting for Baron. But
right now, we do have another team fight coming out. We do have Tiverton Fenmar taking tons of damage. He's going to drop down to Epicons. We do see the heal coming out. Right now, that's going to be shut down for Amadrowski, and right now, Lexris is going to get dropped down. Double kill coming out for Amadrowski, and Griffin Gaming, despite everything, actually managed to flip that on its head, and they actually won the exchange right there.
I don't think that was the best decision that they could have made. They're failing to realize that there is more objectives on this map than mid tower. They could have taken 2 towers in top lane or 1 tower in bot lane, but yet they decide to waste their Baron buff on their jungler, head laner, and AD carry, dive. Tiverton Fenmar went way too deep, solo dolo, past the tower, gets zeroed out, and then it was really good from Careface to catch out Boonslayer and Lexerus with Grasping Roots and the Stranglethorns, just to get the Baron buff off of them. But they weren't coordinated in that fight, and I just feel like they wanted to dive more than they did wanting objectives. And they're ignoring these other objectives. They had Dragon up, which, I mean, they just got, but they had Dragon, they had 2 top towers and bottom tower up, so if they just want to keep pushing this mid lane, it's the hardest tower to siege right now, and they can get free objectives across the map. So they can return to mid lane and try again, but I don't know if the results are going to be any different, because they had Baron buff on 2 of their carries, and they were still not able to do anything. So hopefully the results are different.
Especially now that some of the shutdown gold, went over to Syndra. I think last exchange she got a double kill. So that really helped her out a lot. And International Lane Losers, yeah, you see the first part of the magic resist coming out, but no one's got a full out. Oh, okay, Eve does have a Banshee's Veil, but she's the only one on the whole team who had completed 1 magic resist item yet. So, Amadrowski's still going to be doing a lot of damage. And so, the rest of the team, GG Gray, Curface, the whole squad that has AP. So, I kind of feel like, like we were talking about earlier, itemization priority, maybe getting some magic resist there, they would have been able to siege that quite a bit better. But we do see them.
Ooh. Okay, let's look at the situation real quick. Okay, 5v4 in the mid lane. They just ulted Amadrowski and Curface out of the scenario, so they're going to have to go and heal. This is where International Lane Losers pushes the tower and tries to get the inhibitor, but they're ignoring the fact that Flame is in top lane on their inhibitor tower. So it's not like Vladimir's the best split pushing champion, but Vladimir might be able to punish International Lane Losers for their mistake. They do have Ryze's teleport to try and counteract that, but it's going to take time. It's going to take time for Ryze to find a safe spot to go and teleport to that top lane. And so, depending on how much that takes, Flame might results with an inhibitor tower here, depending on how many minions he has. However, this is going to be a definite inhibitor tower here for international lane losers.
The most important thing Griffin Gaming needs to do right now is not die. If they die right here, the game is over. You do have Flame up in the top lane, and it's 4 versus 5 like you were saying. So if they just let this up, which it looks like they are, they're just going to go ahead and let it go. We do see the TP coming out from IDK 9000. Flame Knight not, you know, able to get that tower, and Flame is getting melted completely, and he's going to TP. It's not going to be enough.
Zeroed out.
IDK is not playing around right now.
Cute little play, but since they zoned out Majowski and Curface with the Ziggs ultimate beforehand and they were healing, it allowed IDK to go back right there. And Majowski getting caught out.
Yeah, the Zonya's going to come out, but it's not going to be able to save him, but maybe it will! GG Gray coming out, and is he going to be able to use the ult? Is he going to be able to save Amadrowski? He does pop the ultimate. Curface trying to get a lockdown onto Tiverton. Femari does get knocked back. GG Gray still on the hunt, and he does manage to get him. So excellent play right there. Does the ultimate kill him? It does! Look at the map! Oh my goodness, Amadrowski, don't recall and shop! Epicon's double kill going over to SKT Slayer, and that was just...
Oh my god! that was so...
oh my gosh!
Okay. Majowski put on his Nikes there when he flashed for the juke. He flashed over the bush and almost killed Lexurus with his DFG ult combo. But he DFG'd after he ultied, so he messed up his combo, or he would have killed Lexurus. But I mean, that led Tiverton Finmar just to keep chasing him. Tiverton Finmar died, and then Amadrowski, window shopping, wants to back in the Ziggs ulti. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
And then Lexurus able to snipe out Epicons because Epicons wanted to chase 2v when Leona showed up and bam, popped in the face, you're dead, son.
He was standing right on the edge of the ring. Had he been paying attention, he would have been able to easily walk out of that ultimate and been able to, you know, avoid his death. But that's one of the things, man. You should never ever recall and shop. Never.
That was pretty good. It was pretty good. It made my day. So, and like I said, game's not over yet, and Baron gonna look to be up in a minute, and back and forth. I think this next Baron is definitely gonna decide who wins this game, and I feel that International Lane Losers is in a better position right now. They're sweeping wards. They have Baron prepped with the pink ward. They have Oracle's lens on Leona. So the more that they can just wait for this Baron and try and play this objective game correctly now would be better. Because what they could be doing right now, instead of trying to set up a pick, is they could be pushing top lane. There's no one in top lane. There's a free tower there that you can still kill. You know, there's no one in bottom lane. Free tower there that you could still kill. They're just too tunnel visioned on trying to set up a pick for this Baron to want, you know, to do anything else. And it's just giving time for Griffin Gaming to farm up and try and match the late game.
Yeah, we see 4 members stacked right here. Curface knows what's going on. He throws the Stranglethorns in there. And yeah, right now International Lane Losers is trying
2 Banshee's Veils.
Yeah. Yeah, so the Banshee's Veils are going to be down for a few seconds here. We do see Griffin Gaming and International Lane Losers doing that Baron dance. Epicons, I might note real quick that he is completely separated from the team. Griffin Gaming is not ready for this team fight. If International Lane Losers choose to go on it right now, which they are, Epicons is going to get exploded. And right now, Griffin Gaming, what are you doing? They are completely separated. Epicons was nowhere near, and now International Lane Losers is pushing up this mid lane tower. We have 4 members from Griffin Gaming recalling right now to defend their base.
They don't have minions. The minions are back by their nexus. So all they can get is this inhibitor right now. They're gonna have to back, maybe if they can, and possibly set up for that Baron. Epicons didn't respect the catch potential that this Ryze Leona had. Ryze just popped his ultimate, got the move speed boost, and then Leona got a really good solo flare. The solo flare stunned him. His E was going off, so he got stunned after his E, so he couldn't continue running away. to be a free Baron for international lane losers.
Yeah, right now there's nothing Griffin Gaming can do. If they go and try to defend this, that's gonna cost them the game. That's gonna be a throw. So they do decide to give that up, and they recognize the fact that.
Oh, God bless America. They're going for the top tower after 43 minutes of in-game time. They decide to go for the top or tier 1 top tower. Might go down here. Thank you. There we go. Pushing on the tier 2 top tower now. Let's see how this pushing power.
Yeah,
pays off.
We have international lane losers pushing this top tower. Flame and Gray nowhere to be found. Gray actually went down to go ahead and do golems. So two of their members are nowhere in the correct positioning right now. We do have Curface trying to fend off the squad, and he does manage to do it. Curface just doing such a good job for most of this game, just making sure he is the good guy support, recognizing how to keep people off. And so props to him for that. Griffin Gaming now grouped together to try and defend this as 5. But gosh, they are taking so much damage, they might just have to give this tower up, and it looks like they do. We do have a team fight breaking out right now. Curveface throwing down the ultimate, but he's going to be killed by IDK 9000. We also see a double kill actually coming out for Flame. Cryo Phoenix back in the back line. GG Gray goes down. Hamadrowski is way back. He's going to try to throw a little bit of damage on that IDK 9000. He actually drops down. Tiverton Fenmar right now is in huge trouble. Flame is able to bring him down. Double kill going to SKT, and that is probably going to be the game. International lane losers right now 44.5 minutes into this match. They're looking to end the game, and that looks like it's going to be game 1 going over to international lane losers.
Well played from both teams. GG. We're going to go ahead and throw it over to a quick commercial break, but stay with us as we go ahead and get into game 2 and our replay for you guys right after this. So thanks for watching.
Not Draven, Draven. Yeah, yeah! Noxians, I hate those guys. Who wants some Draven? You belong in a museum. Giri mo nei please. Wait. Mordecai edes mun virran. I report you.
Big targets are the best.
Imagine if I had a real weapon.
Weapons are for the weak.
as mighty as Twilight Babe!
Right. And I'm not done.
Alright, everyone, welcome back to the match between Griffin Gaming and International Lane Losers. This is game 2. Last game we seen that International Lane Losers took the cake with some really good team fighting and good positioning. So I'm here with my co-shoutcaster, GGXY.
Oh, what's up, everybody? Alright, we're gonna get into champion select right here. Let's talk about what each team should look about banning. We saw that Rise was a really big asset to IDK 9000. He went really big on that last game, and Boonslayer also doing really well on that Ziggs for himself. I don't know if we're gonna see the return of Flamecrow Phoenix's Vladimir. We'll have to see, but we do see that Rise ban coming out, followed up by Morgana and Vayne. Not a lot of support bans being banned out this game. The only one being Morgana. Last time we've seen Braum and Thresh also being banned out. So a little bit of change here. Vayne is still a ban for International Lane Losers. So we'll have to see how the pick and ban evolves going later in, because there's a lot of champions that are still left open. Braum being taken off the table.
Yeah, so Thresh is actually going to be the last ban for International Lane Losers. Griffin Gaming now. I do have the icons on the screen flipped around. I do need to change that. But it's actually International Lane Losers on the left side this time. Let me go ahead and fix that real quick, and yep, there we go. So IDK 9000 is up to pick first. 35 seconds left to go ahead and pick it up. As you guys know, this is a best of 3 games. So having said that, International Lane Losers, if they do win this next match, they will become our Grind Gaming Dragon League champions. So this next match is going to be pretty critical. Can Griffin Gaming be able to capture a win and force it into, game 3, or will International Lane Losers win the whole thing tonight? We do see Caitlyn being picked up for International Lane Losers, while Griffin Gaming currently hovering over Vi for the jungle.
Lexurus didn't do too bad on Caitlyn, but I'm not going to discredit him. I don't think the Caitlyn pick was the reason why his team won. I feel like Caitlyn's not a bad pick in this scenario. It's a top tier AD carry, can perform really well, but there might have been a few more picks that have more priority on them right now than a possible Caitlyn pick. It's good to get off the board. It's hard to play against, but there's still things. There's still Rengar up, there's still casting up. A lot of strong champions like who's still up. Xerath is still up. It's interesting that they wanted to first pick Caitlyn on the board. Flame locking in that Shen top lane. I haven't seen that played too much from Flame, but Shen has not seen competitive play for a very long time now, as 2 Shens is OP, WTF. sticking with that revive. I can't tell if that's a thing. It probably shouldn't be a thing, but it's a thing, I guess. Let's just roll with it. Tiverton Fenmar locking in that Lee Sin. I don't think, Lee Sin's a good pick, a really strong pick, but Eve performed really well last game, and it might have been another strong pick, again in this game, but we'll have to see how he performs on Lee Sin, and not a bad pick at all in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. We did see Tiverton Fenmar play Lee Sin quite a few times actually, and he's really good about getting behind people and just being real sneaky with Lee Sin. We do see the Syndra going over to pt.1, so he's giving up the Ziggs this time, and he's gonna be playing Syndra this game. While Epicons, he's gonna think about playing Jinx this game. Amadrowski, we know that he does like to play Zyra a lot. I'm not quite sure if we'll see Zyra come out this game or not, but it is a possibility for sure.
Yeah, I think that Caraface did a solid job on Zyra last game. Zoning, creating picks, good ultimates. There were some questionable moves, but he had a strong showing on Zyra last game. But it does just look like we're going to have a swap in the mid lane right here. As we saw last game, SKT played Syndra and SKT played Ziggs. But it is going to be the exact opposite, as they will swap champions. We'll have to see how that plays out. Suchfrain looking to pull out that Leona again. Did really well on that Leona, actually. Did pull out a lot of great shoulder flares, zoning, had good initiates in the bot lane. I think it's a solid pick right now, considering all of the supports that are banned out. And Trundle being locked in here for IDK 9000.
Yeah, so already you can see that international lane losers have that really strong front line. They've got Leona, they've got Trundle, and then Lee Sin. So you have a really tanky front line for sure. Enough peel for Caitlyn. You know, you got the knockback from Syndra as well. So Caitlyn's just going to have a heyday this game. Right now...
Yeah, they have a lot of catch, too, between all those champions. They have a lot of catch.
Yeah.
Really good. Trundle actually synergizes really well with this team, more than you would think, because his pillar will allow everyone else, Syndra, Lee Sin, and Leona, to set up their ganks, to set up their moves. His pillar will slow them, so Suchfrain will have an easier time locking down his solar flares, and SKT has an easier time setting up his QE stun combos, and Lee Sin can insect easier. I think it's a solid pick. We haven't seen Trundle in recent competitive play, but I think it's still a strong champion that can be valuable depending on how you play it.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it's just a strong team comp all around for Team International Lane Losers. And then Nami rounding out the last pick here for Team Griffin Gaming. Griffin Gaming coming in with a much more rounded comp this time, I would say. Gray is a lot more directed, and I feel that his Vi is a lot stronger than his Amumu. Vi also is a lot better creating picks than Amumu, I feel. Vi can single out, carry a lot easier than Amumu. She has a lot more catch and does a lot more damage, I feel, than even a full IP Amumu does. And I feel that the overall team comp has, good balance, good damage across the board between Ziggs, Jinx. Shen is not really a viable damage source, but between the spread out damage from Nami and Vi, it'll be enough to suffice. And as long as they stay relevant in the game, that it'll be pretty good. But was a bloodbath in IDK 9000, but Shen and Trundle aren't exactly bloodthirsty champions, so we'll have to, like I said, that may, be subject to change, but depending on how play out the jungle pressure, because Lee Sin and Vi, I feel are very similar champions in ways, because they can gank pre-6, but their ganks aren't as effective until they're 6. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how much they can exert their pressure before they have their full potential at ganking, because we did see Tiverton lanes last game, just going all across the map in the early game with that Evelyn, putting out a lot of pressure, while Gray wasn't even at his buff at 155. So we'll have to see how differently things play out, and I think the level 1 will decide a lot of that, because the level 1 last game, Gray was just out of position because he was clearing a ward. So if they can create some mind games with, again, if international lane losers can create some mind games, get some deep wards, do their thing, I think that they could say Gray off his game again, and might affect their play style.
Yeah, for sure. And back to what you were saying, both teams have a lot of team fight potential and dive potential as well. You can see, Shen, Vi, Ziggs, the whole squad, they're really good at being able to dive and get out fairly easily. So it's going to be like how
we're going to have to see how well they can coordinate those dives, though,
Yeah.
because last game they wanted to dive and it didn't end up working in their favor. So if they're a bit more coordinated here in these dives, it might pay up, for their dividends, because they can dive bot lane and Shen can be there in an instant. He doesn't even have to waste teleport. So rounding out with 25 seconds left here in Champion Select, we're going to go ahead and throw it over to a quick commercial break, and we're going to be back with Game 2 of International Lane Losers versus Griffin Gaming in the Grind Gaming Dragon League Championships. So stay tuned, and thank you for watching, everybody.
Pride, honor, revenge. These are all reasons for a champion to fight in the League of Legends. But mine is a different story. A ruthless Noxian assassin. Her kill or be killed mentality ensures this battle will not be easily won. Fighting in the League is my life now. But once, I desired to walk a different path.
Alright everyone, welcome back to the Grind Gaming Dragon League Championship match between Griffin Gaming and International Lane Losers. Currently we have a pause right now, but just while we're paused, let's take a look at some of these items.
Yeah, Gray opting for the Sweeper's Lens again at the start, however Tivington Fenmore opting for the Trinket Ward. I think that you just have to default to the Trinket Ward when you're playing on Lee Sin for the early shield combo, so you can gank lanes more effectively. And it's just more effective, even if you're not using it for the W gank. However, all of these items coming out, I feel like we're going to be equal in all these buys. Shen opting for the Dorn's Blade start, looking to possibly just trade a little bit more, and it looks just like pretty good buys all across the board. That's two out of the order.